I'm Niju Thomas George. I'm currently working as a Senior Associate Business Analyst with over 3 years of experience in the business analyst and product management role. I enjoy sports, especially, football and cricket. They keep me grounded. MBA helped me in developing my communication or the business acumen skills. Whether you are still in college or just entering the work, start observing how things work around you. That's the core mindset of a good analyst, actually. I had some great memories with ABBS. Honestly, it was the practical learning.
Welcome to Changemakers by ABBS. In this episode, we meet Niju Thomas George, an inspiring voice from the MBA batch of 2019-2021, specializing in marketing and HR. Now, a Senior Associate Business Analyst, Niju shares his journey from engineering to business, how ABBS shaped his career, and offers valuable advice for aspiring analysts and product managers. Tune in for practical insights, reflections, and a glimpse into what drives his future ambitions. Hi, I welcome you to Changemakers by ABBS podcast. Thank you so much for joining us in today.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So before we begin the actual conversation, would you mind letting us know a bit about yourself, your journey so far, and also the work that you do?
Sure. Absolutely. So, hi. First of all, hi, Nita. And thank you for having, me on the Changemakers by ABBS. It's an absolute honor to be here. So, by the way, I'm Niju Thomas George. I'm currently working as a Senior Associate Business Analyst with over 3 years of experience in the business analyst and product management role. And I started with my journey with a degree in mechanical engineering from a college in Kerala, Musiliar College of Engineering Technology. After that, I pursued my MBA, in marketing and HR from Acharya Bangalore B School. That's where I really found the passion for business strategy or people management and the intersection of this technology and business. And after that, professionally, I began my career with IBS Software, where I worked as a business analyst, and I got a chance to be part of their major product development activities. Which that impacted the aviation tech space, and I was involved in defining the roadmaps, conducting some market research, and leading the product development. And after 2 years with them, I joined Air India as a Senior Associate Business Analyst. Now I'm currently doing that particular with Air India. And outside my work, I enjoy sports, especially football and cricket. That they keep me grounded, because they teach me how teamwork done in its purest form, without any ego and something. And I'm also very passionate about continuous learning and upskilling myself. So I'm currently pursuing some certifications like CSPO, Agile Scrum Master, etc. So that's me in a nutshell, and someone who loves to solve problems, leading the change, and always look for how to improve the systems and experiences.
Right. Great introduction, I must say. So I really want to know from you, because there are a lot of young people who are watching our podcast today. So they also would like to know, like, what motivates you? What are some factors that keep you motivated for your career?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question, of course. And for me, the greatest motivation is something like, how I can make some impact through my work. So, when I'm working on some product or process development, or, by helping people, so making their jobs easier by streamlining the operations or reducing the inefficiencies, that gives me a sense of fulfillment. And I'm also, very driven in the problem solving aspects as well. So, I mean, like, business analyst is, of course, something like a detective work. We always analyze the root cause of the issue, figure out what the stakeholders actually want, and according to the requirement, we design some solutions to create some real values. So that's how this keeps motivating. And outside that, there is a bit of collaboration that we require. So, as a business analyst, we act as a bridge between the technical and the business team. So, we take the requirements to the technical team, and of course, there is a collaboration between the cross-functional teams. Like, there will be testers, developers, operations team who will be working in hand to make the vision of the business users a real work. And another part of motivation is part of the self-driven approach, where it's basically the learning that we have. I'm currently motivated to learn some skills like SQL, Power BI, etc. Because this toolkit adds to the data-driven decisions that can be taken in the near future. So these are the things actually that motivates me a lot.
Right, great. So, you are an engineer yourself, and then you decided to do an MBA. So, how you landed up doing it, and was it actually planned? Did you plan it? Because I can see it is a classic example. Like most of the engineers actually take either core services, core jobs, or they go for the MBA. So, what was your decision?
No, and, honestly, it wasn't any fixed plan. And I started my mechanical engineering because I was more curious into how the engines or systems work. So I learned how, from machines to processors, how this works. But over the time, on learning, I was more curious and interested into how the actual business work in backend, how decisions are made, how customers are satisfied, how the actual technology are evolved to solve the business problems. So that's why I decided to pursue my MBA. Now I given a shot for the MAT exam, so that's where it actually started. So then I had a couple of interviews with ABBS, and now I got admission there. So that was a perfect platform for the transition actually. So
Yeah.
I did my marketing and HR dual specialization because I wanted both on the business side and the people side of the business. So and then I realized that roles like business analyst or product managers were that's where the exact intersection happens between the technology and the people. So that's how I pursued this particular career. It's a pure way in which it my path evolved as part of the exposure and exploration. Exposure really happened at ABBS because that's where we had people around the country coming, sharing their experiences. Of course, the faculties and the students there. Students means there will be a batch from Kerala, of course, from the different states of India. So that's where we had this cross cultural relationships as well. So that's where this engineering particularly helped in my logical thinking, and the MBA helped me in developing my communication or the business acumen skills as well. So that's how.
So I can say like you evolved in your career. So basically, if you want to stay stagnant in your career, you take engineer and pursue it as your career also ahead.
Yeah,
In case you want to evolve, then take
yeah,
management. Graduation you can do in any subject, but then you can consider pursuing management as well.
correct.
So, if someone would like to pursue a career in business analysis or product management, so what would be your simplest advice to them?
So that's a great question, of course. But my advice for them will be something like don't wait for the perfect start. Actually, so whether you are still in college or just entering the work, so start observing how things work around you, and know what are the problems faced by the people, or what tools they use, how processes can be improved in any way. So that's the core mindset of a good analyst actually. So second is something like you should build some strong fundamentals. As a business analyst, there is something called user stories. When you dive deeper,
Right.
so how to write a clear user story, understand the process mappings, get something familiar with the methodologies used by technical companies like agile methodologies, and explore more tools like Jira, Confluence, Power BI, things like that. So these will be available as a free course in the online platforms as well. So there are much way to explore these upskilling parts as well. And the third is to develop some soft skills, so like communication and this stakeholder management. So you will need to listen actively, ask the right question at the right time, and clearly articulate the requirements so that this can be tracked to closure. So, and lastly, we should be always be curious and adaptable. So always the technology and business are constantly changing, or they are constantly changing to major technical activities around the world. So you should be very curious to see what happens, and you should be in a mindset like you are also adaptable to that change, or upskill yourself. So that's the advice that I can provide, because everything counts at the end.
Right, absolutely. And also, business analysis is one of that career which the aspect is broader actually. You can go to any field and
Oh.
you can find a job in business analysis in that company. It can be service and product as well.
Correct.
So, yeah. And you did your MBA at ABBS. So, what was your favorite part like studying here?
Yeah, favorite part, it's like I had some great memories with ABBS.
Mhm.
It's the honestly, it was the practical learning. So What happened
Yeah.
is when I joined ABBS, we were given a project work at the starting stages. Like they selected some small vendors around the college, and they asked us to go to that particular vendor, take their have an interview with them,
Yeah.
take how much capital they have put into that particular business, how the business is evolving, what are the major changes that they may bring in the next 6 months or so. So, I mean, that was the first project which I had. And, I basically enjoyed subjects like marketing strategy and the organizational behavior because, I mean, they helped me to understand the psychology behind each, the consumer or the team dynamics. And, honestly, the professors around, I still remember, it's a Venkatesha sir, coming to our classrooms, asking to take out the latest book you are reading from the, book. So he forced
Yeah.
us to, he forced us to read the books from the library. He forced us to read the English newspapers to, develop your skills, everything. The teachers around, it's like, I should say all the names of the professors. Divyaditya sir, Rajesh sir, Shalini madam, Sriram sir, many helped in, actually evolving myself from, at Acharya. And my favorite part was like, I had my professor called Jivaratna. So madam asked us to go to the care market at night to see the, how the flower market functions. So we took a
Yes.
scooter and it's like morning 3 o'clock. We went straight to the care market. So we took a small video around as a project work. So that was absolutely great. The learnings and the exposure that Acharya gave us, absolutely great. And of course, I can't forget the friendships as well, the cultural fairs or the informal meetings that happened during the lunch breaks or during the last deadline of the assignment submission. So that was also one of the favorite things at Acharya.
Right. When we talk about employability, we should also make ourselves employable. So when we are doing any kind of courses, it is very much important that that college is providing us certain like facilities or kind of like support to make us employable as well. So, I mean, how do you think that ABBS helped you to get ready for the corporate world?
No, one of the biggest things I took from ABBS is the critical thinking and how to communicate effectively. So, I mean,
Right.
I come from a remote place in Kerala. So, where I was not having many exposure, it usually, we communicate in our regional language
Yeah.
here. So when I came to Acharya, that's where the actual exposure began. Acharya taught me to how to communicate effectively. It's basically the critical thinking and the communication capabilities that Acharya gave me. So in a corporate world, especially in business analysis. So I mean, if you are able to ask the right questions and present your ideas, half of your job is done already. So and from Acharya, you also learn how to work in teams, manage the deadlines between the projects, and approach the problem in a structured way. How to prioritize your work, whether it's the assignment deadline or the homeworks or some other extracurricular activities. So Acharya taught me to manage the deadlines as well, and often our assignments required some group coordination. So somebody should help at the end. So that also was, the teamwork, how to work in a team, how to guide a team or lead a team. So all these things evolved, and also the skills. The major skill I learned is regarding the stakeholder communication. So I mean, we had to present business plans or some strategies as a PPT. So that's how it's helped me to now to discuss with the clients or the developers or the senior managers. So I'm able to communicate freely, more effectively with the skills that I achieved from Acharya. So I mean, in a nutshell, ABBS was not just getting a degree. It's more like it's gave me a confident mindset and some tools which I use now in my career.
So there are a lot of students who are watching us today and who aspire to become an MBA graduate and pursue their MBA from ABBS. So what would be your advice to them?
So I mean, for the students who are starting to be an MBA student, so I would say, so you should first relax a bit, and you don't have to figure it out on the right away, and you should focus more on building the skills and not just the resumes actually. So learn how to stay curious. Don't be afraid of trying different things. So part which I currently have is like, for the first year, I was not able to come out of my comfort zone. So usually what happens is we'll be having a group of students who will be from the same region. So we'll be sitting with them. We will not be able to come out of that space actually. So my breakout happened really with, Sengatuvelu sir actually. So where we did a project. It was called Last Mile Transportation. It was a short project. So that's where I started to come out of my comfort zone. So when I started my project, I had a inner feeling saying that, I am very back. There are much students, better than me. So that's where I started thinking like, I'm not having any skills particularly. I'm just building some resumes with some free courses. So that's where I started upskilling myself, and it evolved. I, probably asked the new students to use the resources that are available at ABBS to the full and
Yeah.
more efficiently. Don't be afraid to ask more questions in the code edge.
Yes.
If there are some projects that the professors are working on, so please be happy to assist them. So I had my fourth year project with Girish sir. So it was a fantastic experience, like, to take some customer feedbacks using some forms, etc. And with Sriram sir, I had the opportunity to publish a paper. So I was assisting him, and it had there was one of my colleague called Pratik Joshi. So actually, he also helped me. So we both were supporting Sriram sir in publishing a review journal. So that also helped me a lot in learning new things, developing how to prepare a document, how to publish a paper, things like that. So there will be setbacks in your journey, but whether it will be a failed presentation or failed placement interview, but that will not go in your way. But ideally, every experience teach you a lesson. So I would ask them to trust the process and keep moving forward. But ideally, you should come out of your comfort zone, very early.
Yes, yes. Of course, like you have correctly mentioned that we all have our setbacks, we all have our positive and negative points, but it is very much essential that we should realize first,
Yeah.
like where we are standing and where we need to go. So that realization should happen in an MBA college like ABBS.
Correct.
It's the
If
best.
you are, yeah, I mean, if you are choosing an MBA, so you should be ready to come out of your comfort zone. If you are not coming out of your comfort zone, there is no use to your MBA actually.
Right,
So I did my engineering. If I wanted to stay with my comfort zone, I shouldn't be choosing Bangalore or especially Acharya College.
right, right, absolutely. So what are your dreams and what are your plans for future?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I am someone who believes in continuous evolution. So my immediate
Mhm.
goal is to keep deepening my expertise in business analysis or and transition, so like more into product strategy roles. So currently I'm working on some upskillment. So it's like I'm currently working on improving my data analytics skills, like learning
Right,
tools like Power BI or SQL more deeply. So because in the near future it's the data driven decisions that have more impact. So I'm currently working on it, and eventually I see myself leading some product teams or playing more strategic roles, or maybe even launching some tech products to solve a real world problem. And I
right.
also really want to mentor some young professional, especially those from the non tech backgrounds, and help them navigate their careers in business and tech. So I mean, what happened
Right.
is, for me, I started with mechanical engineering. Now I am into IT. So I mean, there will be professional people who really need some helping hand,
Yeah.
to step on, start with their career. So I want to mentor some young professionals in the near future. And right now I'm exploring more certifications related to the product leaderships. And I'm
Yes.
actively involved in some projects with the companies that will push myself out of my comfort zone. So the long term vision will be someone who is not only adapts to change but also leads it. Hopefully inspires somebody along the way. So that's the overall dreams, or plans for my future.
Great. And future is data. Data is king.
Correct.
So you are correctly in the right path for the
Yeah.
future. All
Yeah.
the best for the same. And thank you so much for joining us in today. This was
Sure.
really an insightful conversation. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot.